if you're just getting started in music production, I strongly recommend sticking with one genre and listening to 100 songs and analyzing them deeply before moving into any other space. The reason why I'm saying that is because every genre has a vast amount of vocabulary in it. And by vocabulary, I mean rhythmic techniques, melodies that are commonly used, chord progressions, arrangement techniques, and even mixing. And if you are jumping from genre to genre, you are basically diluting the information that you're taking in, and it will slow you down in your discovery of your skill sets in music production and the development of your unique sound. Now, when you think about someone's unique sound, it's usually a combination of several influences. That's ideal, because at that point, once you start to fuse all your personal influences, you now sound like yourself. But I think that when you are learning how to produce, you will learn faster if you focus on one genre at a time. Then you can bring all of that together, and then boom, you're good, hopefully. Okay, so the main problem that you come across when you're jumping from one genre to another is too much vocabulary. Let me just give an example of when earlier on in my production career, EDM was taking off, and I was working in like hip hop and R&B, already trying to work through two genres, and I got excited about what was going on in EDM. I really enjoyed listening to Calvin Harris. I love what Zed was doing. I really like the Chainsmokers. So naturally, as a creative, I tried to dip my toe in that water and see what I could do in regards to EDM. I'm starting from the bottom because I don't understand the genre well enough to produce in it. And then I found myself focusing on sound design, trying to make cool sine waves, or like just kind of like trying to put together different sounds using sine waves, sawtooth, triangles, all that kind of stuff. Now, while I did learn a good amount about creating sounds, it was actually a big distraction, because ultimately I did not want to be an EDM producer. I liked the sounds and I wanted to be able to make something like it, just to be able to say that I did. And what I ended up doing was slowing my progress down in R&B, which is the space that I'm really trying to live in. And instead of learning how to, manipulate sounds by way of EDM and working on drops and all that kind of stuff, I could have been learning bass, which I'm doing now, and focusing on playing neo soul style bass like Pino Palladino, or trying to play something upbeat and super groovy like Verdine White. I could have been putting time into that, or I could have been teaching myself guitar and focusing on playing neo soul style chords, R&B chords with nice licks, nice hammer-on and pull-offs, or even just chunking and like little funk elements that really go into the style. So by focusing on EDM, I lost time. Why am I saying 100 songs? 100 songs is arbitrary, but if you do sit down and study 100 songs closely, you will be amazed to find out how much you discover about that particular style. You'll notice common instruments that are being used. You'll start to uncover really common melodies, common bass lines. You'll begin to hear the kind of instruments that are working in a song in a certain way in certain parts. So if you really sit and build out a playlist and just do a serious deep dive, you start to really internalize that genre in a way that you may have never done before. Because I know you're probably thinking, hey, I listen to that style all the time, so I understand what's going on. Not quite. I would challenge you to say, I would challenge that opinion and say that, if you were to sit and listen to 100 songs in a genre, and if you wrote out the song form alone for every single song, you would be surprised to see that certain things are happening in certain spots that you didn't even pay attention to. You just know the song very well from a sing-along standpoint, but I'll give you an example. I was listening to Didn't You Know by Erykah Badu, and I know that song. I love that song. And I was listening to it for a client, and I suddenly realized that the way that song flows is from intro to what feels like more of a pre-chorus to a chorus, and then a verse comes in, and then she does pre-chorus, chorus, and then a long bridge / outro. I never noticed that that song did not start with a verse. I thought it did. And it wasn't until I actually wrote it out that I actually figured that out. And then I listened to another song within the same day from another artist and noticed that that artist did something very similar. So now I'm like, wow, okay. In this style of music, to get this like catchy vibe where it's like hook, 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 it feels like a bunch of hooks. Sometimes people are holding off on even getting to a verse. They're going right into a super catchy chorus or a pre-chorus that has a nice momentum swinging you into a chorus. So you can really unpack a lot of details if you sit with a genre for a very long time, or just from a quantity standpoint and really dig into what's going on. The other thing that you'll pick up from listening to about 100 songs or so is chord progressions that are being used frequently. Even if you can't pick out the chords, like if you can't tell that it's like a 2, 6, 1, 5 or whatever, you'll start to hear the chord progressions in a certain manner, and at the very least you'll have a good instinct for where to go when you're writing your chords because of that. If you can actually write the chords out, more power to you, even better. And a nice hack for that is to actually try to find like a chord book or a song book for a lot of songs within that genre. Like for example, with R&B, you can get the Real R&B song book, which is created by Hal Leonard. I have it actually sitting right over here. And yeah, this is the Real R&B book. And it has a whole bunch of songs in here. There's about 530 pages in here of music. This right here, ooh, you'll have so many chord progressions under your belt. But yeah, I think that it's really important to live in that space so you can tune your ears to mixing arrangements or mixing styles, production arrangement techniques, chord progressions, rhythms, song form, all that kind of stuff. So it'll pay off a lot. Can't speak highly enough about it. And it's something that I've been doing a lot now. And I'm noticing my growth has been picking up even faster as I do this. And I actually get excited when I can sit down and really write out an analysis for a song. So how exactly can you go about doing that? I would say that a good strategy is to just build a playlist and start to populate that playlist with songs. If you're on like Spotify, you can create a playlist, maybe throw like 20 songs in there. Spotify will start feeding more songs to you, and it'll help you populate that playlist if you're having trouble doing so. But so get the playlist and then just start listening to them. Just kind of like on your daily commute while you're working out, just play the songs over and over and over again, and then sit down and actually write notes on the songs. And if you can create a format, if you can create like a list of things that you want to look for within every song, that'll make this even easier. And it also will serve as a higher value exercise because now you're being kind of scientific about the approach and you're starting to fill in a sheet, and your ears are just going to be, your ears are going to lift and open up in such a crazy way. And you'll start to hear those songs in a totally different way, just naturally. You'll be like, wow, okay, the song is really like connecting with me in a way that I've never experienced before. So I would highly recommend giving it a go. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts if you do try it out. Until next time, take it easy.